Libra, hey there cuties, Melissa here to do your timeless love reading. This is for Libra, any placement. I am going to speak to you like you are Libra sun, but all placements and cross watchers are also welcome here. This is a love reading. We're going to be looking at the energy that you bring to the connection, the energy the person you have in mind brings, as well as a potential outcome and an overarching energy. Anywhere from single to married and anywhere in between, just whomever you have on that sweet little Libran brain of yours. All right, Libra, anything you need to know about me, you can find in the About section of my channel, as well as on my website, which is linked in the About section of my channel. Let's get at your love life, babies. All right, so the energy that you bring to the connection, ooh, is the Nine of Pentacles. We do have the Page of Cups in their energy, and then the King of Swords in the outcome. Ooh, I like all this energy, okay? Pages, I feel like we've been getting a lot of pages in your, I don't feel like it's an immature energy necessarily. I feel like it could sometimes be the energy of sort of careless, carefree. That's what I'm getting. So carefree, could be carefree, which I think we should all be more childlike in that way. I think we should all be a little more immature. I think that where we start to put too many, what are those called? Like just the mold that we try to put on, egotistical, guidelines is where we actually start to fall short in this lifetime. So I think the pages indicate is what I was actually looking for, but I feel like the pages are indicating that there is this sort of free-spirited energy here. The Six of Cups also indicates that. The what do you call this gal? The High Priestess. This is about intuition. This is about a higher knowing. This is about an inner knowing. And a true connection to self and the divine, and not necessarily anything being confirmed on the surface at this time is what I'm getting right now, but it's like things that we know from within that are correct, because things that we know from within are correct for our lives, but it's about getting our human on board sometimes, and really actually getting everybody else's human on board, but we don't need to. That's not our job. This is saying you don't need to worry about getting anybody else's human on board. That's their job, and they're having a hard enough time doing that, okay? Like, to get our human on board with our own life is hard enough. To try to get everybody else's human on board with our life is insane. It's impossible, and it causes this sort of burdensome, stressful, heavy weight. But as soon as we do let down that weight of the world, really realize that our life is ours, theirs is theirs, we don't need to try to help them, customize their shit, and we don't need to help, they don't get to help us customize ours. Again, just letting everything flow in our own life is how is how we can find our best life. So customizing our own life isn't even necessarily, it's like following the calls is pretty much, what we're asked to do in this lifetime, but we've been taught to customize everything, including everybody else's lives. Interesting stuff, you guys. I feel like you've done a lot of introspection and are gaining a new perspective on this connection, on love, on life in general. And that is bringing you into a place of things starting to move in your favor. You maybe already are feeling this, because I have been feeling this in your guys' energy where, again, you really started to give it, just surrender it all to the divine. Like, if it's meant to be, like, do I even want this? Like, this is what I say to myself. I don't even want to succeed if that's not meant for me, if that's not my place, right? So, and to succeed in the way that I think I want success, right? The way my ego wants success to look. So God will give me whatever, the divine, whatever it is you believe in, the universe will give me the success that is meant for me. Anything I have to go hunt down or stalk down isn't meant for me, and it won't last very long, okay? So, and it won't feel right. It'll never fulfill me. That's what I'm getting right now. What a weird bunch of messages coming through on all of that. The Page of Wands in your overarching energy, really, and the Six of Cups right under that signifies a soulmate. I feel like we've been working with sort of a soulmate situation, or even twin flamey situation in the Libra connections. For me, the Page of Wands can mean many things. A lot of, ready to take this new adventure. Could be a new connection. But for me, it really means that after letting down the weight of the world that was in the Ten of Wands, the Page of Wands comes right after that. It's about realizing that we don't have to appease everyone, and finding what is truly for us and really committing fully to that. So this connection, since it's in a love connection and the overarching energy, I really feel like you have both realized and decided that this is what is for you. It just works. It just fits. The Nine of Pentacles in your energy does indicate that you are single at this time for me. But that is exactly where I would want to be, and everybody I think needs to be in this space where they're not relying on anyone or anything to feel okay in their own skin to validate them. You're validated on your own. You've found your path, yourself, your worth. And I feel like even feeling sort of in this space of kind of throwing caution to the wind is what I'm getting right now, which is a weird message on the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like you're not being frugal any longer. You're not trying so hard to hold on to things or be careful or safe. And I'm not talking about be dangerous in, you know, physical harm and shit like that. I'm talking about like maybe where we would only, oh my God, my mom, when I was a kid, this is no joke, but we were so broke when we did have food, in order to make it last, my mom had to give us this restriction. Like you could have one piece of meat on the sandwich, right? And I feel like that's kind of where you've been with your life in general, just in all areas, not just in finances necessarily, but you've been kind of frugally holding on to your own gifts. You haven't been letting everybody see the full spectrum of them, or even yourself. I feel like you've been being frugal, and I feel like this is saying that you're no longer being frugal. You're throwing caution to the wind, and you're ready to finally live in this, what I'm seeing is the lap of luxury, whatever that means. Not necessarily, again, financially. This is about just kind of finally ready to, I'm watching you flow with like the stream. You're in the river, floating on your back, ready to finally go with the flow instead of trying so hard to hold on to things that maybe, again, you felt like if you lose that, you're going to have nothing again, right? And feeling this new sense of, you know, that if that goes, something new comes in, okay? A lot of messages, a lot of information coming through. I am trying to keep, I don't even know what I'm talking about. So oftentimes when the messages come through, I'm like, what? Does that even make sense? And then the ones that make so little sense to me seem to make so much sense to the people that are viewing. So I don't need to understand what I'm saying right now. I hope you do, though. The Page of Cups. This is somebody who I think has chosen you. I feel like you're their dream come true, and I feel like they are ready to communicate with you emotionally. Just really share their emotions with you is what I'm getting off of the Page of Cups right now. I don't always get that. I feel like they're finally willing to share the way they feel, the way that you make them feel with you. The King of Swords, however, he can be a little less than warm. I feel like good at communicating, but that isn't a very emotional communication. That's more of a logical communication. So we might still be stuck in that a little bit. That sort of, even though we feel this way about each other, there is still like, but we got to be smart about this. And go ahead. I guess they call it balance. I don't know anything about balance. I have a wild one, but no, I think I'm in my old age. I'm definitely becoming more balanced, but I feel like it's a gift. That balance, that infamous balance, is a gift for sure. All right, so we got the Tower, the Star, and the Nine of Cups. My word, Libra, the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. I do feel like something could have been shaken out of your life at this time with the Tower card there. Could be dealing with an Aquarius, a Scorpio, any water sign, any fire sign, or Aquarius is very strong. What I feel like the Tower is indicating is that you are having to let go of, like I said, whatever it was you were holding on to. Okay, so I'm watching you hold on to a pole in that stream that we were talking about, in the river. This is a very weird message, but I feel like this is you letting go of whatever that was kind of keeping you at the top of the stream, letting you flow into all that is meant for you, all of your blessings, all of, again, all the connections that are meant for you. By whatever it was that you were holding on to, you're letting go of it now in order to come into a space of all of your blessings. With both the Star card, I feel like this somebody said the Nine of Cups is the minor arcana version of the Star card. This is about wish fulfillment at its finest, because you've done the healing that you need to do and come into a space where you're feeling very secure on your own, and just really realizing that, again, the Creator, the Divine, isn't going to take things from you that are meant for you, even if your egotistical mind is telling you, or your logical mind is telling you that was it for you. Or that was the right job for you, or that was, we have a hard time letting go of things, but I'm telling you that the Creator will never take something away from you that was meant for you and then offer you nothing in return. It's about the things that do get taken from us are traditionally because we were holding on to something that wasn't ours and wasn't even good enough for us. I don't know. That could be a connection. That could be you guys coming out of a connection and into a new one. It could be a job. It could be an idea. It could be so many things. But I feel like something is abruptly being shaken up in your life. And again, it's leading to all of your blessings, your wish fulfillment, the Star card and the Nine of Cups. The Page of Cups, the Two of Wands, the Justice card, and the King of Cups. Could be dealing with another Libra. They could just have you on their mind. I do feel like they're ready to take action towards you. Like I said, I feel like they're willing to share their feelings at this time, which I don't feel like they've done before in the past. I feel like it's been more of a logical or a, I feel like you guys have done things according to what society says is the best idea. And again, if the healing was needing to be done and things like that, absolutely. That's nothing to do with society. That has to do with, society would tell you just make this shit work, especially if this was a marriage in the past for some of you. You just make it work and marriage is hard work. And no, the truth is a lot of the work can only be done in solitude. So there was this separation for some of you, and some of you, this will be a brand new person who you've done this work from separately. But I do feel like whoever this is, they've done a lot of work and they're ready to share their feelings with you. For some of you, again, if this is brand new, this is just somebody who is going to be that sort of emotionally available person is what I'm getting right now. Somebody who is willing to pour fully into you. And again, they're not going to pour fully into something that won't pour fully back into them. So they're looking for that equal give and take kind of connection. With the King of Cups here, this is somebody who is emotionally intellectual. That's not the right word. Emotionally intelligent. Emotionally intelligent is what I'm getting, and I don't even really know what that means, but I hear people say it, and I don't. That's what I'm getting off of the King of Cups right now. This is somebody who knows how they feel, and they're willing to express that. Again, they're not going to spill it all over the place sloppily. They're going to express their emotions and then sort of allow you to do what is best for you. Okay? They're not going to force you into anything or kind of try to talk you into this is it for you. This is somebody who will express their own feelings and then allow you to express your own or not. Interesting stuff. Three of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. Again, this is somebody who is willing to put in the work with you. This is, you both are willing to put in the work. This is two people who know that that there is a constant work that needs to be done on self, okay? I think that the connection should never need a lot of work, right? If we're kind of falling to pieces all over the place, I think that is an indicator that the connection should separate and go on separate ways and do the healing, right? But I feel like this is stating that you both realize that there is work that constantly needs to be done from within ourselves. Really, we can kind of fall back into our old self-doubt patterns very easily, believe it or not. Like, you can be at the top of your game one day and the next day, I don't know if it has to do with astrology or what. I don't get into all of that because I work more fully on faith rather than trying to map out everything with the stars. But not saying that astrology doesn't work for some people. It just doesn't work for me. I don't want to know what's coming. Several reasons. One, whenever people start talking about full moons coming now or anything, I didn't used to know about any of that. Now I start to panic about it for a week or two in advance. I'm like, no, or the retrogrades, I didn't know about them. Maybe some things would go awry during the retrograde, but it would just be by chance in my eyes. And now I feel like I ruin every moment up until then because I'm paranoid about that happening, right? So I feel like just leaving things up to chance or up to faith, being faithful and leaving it up to fate as well is how the best way to live in this lifetime, if we could really come into that space of surrender. Anyhow, so the Three of Wands really does indicate that both of you have done the work that was needed and come into a space where you're feeling very... you're in your own authentic skin, you're in your own lane, you're in your own space, and now anything that you pursue, because you're only pursuing things that are meant for you, you're no longer trying to fulfill all of these things that, kind of life put there for you to fulfill, or society, I should say, because life didn't. Society has put all these things for us to fulfill, and when we're doing that, it's like we have to pull from several different buckets. When we're following our truest path and walking in our own lane, it seems that all of the resources are endless, that we're constantly offered more and more and more in this on this path. Whew. Okay, could be dealing with a Capricorn. I already said an Aquarius, Scorpio, very strong now. Aquarius is also very strong. Any water sign, any fire sign. Ownership. You acknowledge your misdeeds and accomplishments alike, and learn to love them all as lessons. Absolutely, amen. There's nothing worse to me than, and I'm not shaming people, there's nothing more sad than seeing people shame themselves for the mistakes they've made in their past. I'm like, no, those were all stepping stones. Those were all lessons to get us to where we are, and if we hadn't made those mistakes previously, then we would make them now. Like, we wouldn't have learned that that's not a good way to go, right? That we wouldn't have, you know, so just to get where we are and to get on the path that is meant for us and into our own lane, like the Queen of Pentacles here, where our resources are, unless we do have to try to go down and travel down many different paths that aren't meant for us, to really get the ones, to really understand like the feeling of it when we are on our right path. I love you so much. I will see you guys next week. Mwah.